Hey, 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 how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Church of RNK. My name is Rosemary Nolly Knight. How are you doing? So yesterday we sang this affirmation, which actually I'm going to start with. What was it now? I own all of me. I love all of me. I own all my weaknesses. I own love all of me. So we sang that yesterday. That was our affirmation from yesterday, and it's going to be an affirmation for today. And it was all about, loving ourselves. And if you didn't listen to yesterday's live stream, you absolutely must. But this is the thing, okay? So overnight, I had an experience of the dark side, okay? The dark side. And I'm going to tell you about the dark side in a second. Hey, so yes, the dark side. And hi, Wasim, lovely to have you here. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so the dark side, I experienced the dark side a little bit, because it's one thing for us to talk about, loving all of ourselves, loving all our weirdnesses, loving everything that we are, blah, 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 all of that great, amazing stuff, because yes, it is absolutely the basis on which we build a life of purpose, of meaning, of fulfillment. You're not going to do it if you're not really liking yourself. You're just not, okay? You can try, but you're going to sabotage, which is exactly what tends to happen at times. And I felt yesterday night that I was sabotaging myself a little bit. Because I wake up first thing in the morning, like between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm generally awake because I want to wake up before the household wakes up. I'm a very busy lady. I have children to home educate, and I have businesses to run, and all of this stuff. So there's things to be done all the time, right? And I know that I need to get a certain amount of sleep. Okay, I generally tend to handle about 4 hours sleep, 5 hours sleep maximum, something like that. You really too much sleep, and I start getting a bit woo. So. But this is it. I was faced, because at the moment I'm going through a transition time in my business where I feel as if I'm expanding a lot. I feel as if I'm being called to a different level, and some of y'all might feel that way at times, where something that was a big stretch to you once upon a time is no longer a big stretch to you, and so now you feel as though, hey Shay, how you doing? Was the whole thing okay? Did I ask you this already? I'm not sure, but whichever way, are you okay? How was the what's it called, Hurricane Irma, all of that? How is that? Tell me. I want to know that you're fine. Okay, but yeah, so I was when you're stretching, you're feeling stretched, and I was doing some stuff yesterday that felt scary to me. Okay, and so I promised myself that I wasn't going to bed until I got this stuff done, because I know I'd been delaying it. You know how when you don't want to do something, you suddenly find, oh, look at that spider web. Oh, let me just clean that window over there. I never clean if I can help it. But suddenly when you have to do things that you don't want to do, suddenly you find that, oh, the cleaning seems so attractive all of a sudden, basically. But it's like, and so yes, I'd finally, about midnight or something, convinced myself to just do this thing, send off this email. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, in fact, I was even speaking to somebody yesterday, and she was like, oh, I'm really scared of getting started because, and I'm like, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? She's like, yeah, I could fail. But I'm like, yeah, but you're failing already. By not starting at all, you're failing already. Now, I'm quite blunt, okay? So, I'm not sure she expected me to be quite so blunt, and even as I said it out loud, I'm like, ooh, that's a bit, ooh. But it's the truth, sometimes we kind of do this stuff to ourselves, telling ourselves that we don't want to get the result at the end, which might be failure, but then by not doing the thing in the first place, then you failed already. You've already made a decision that you're going to fail, and so you're failing by not actually taking action, and this is kind of the dark side. This side of us, where we know that we're holding ourselves back from doing something that we absolutely want to do, from getting the life that we want to get. And when you come to, I would say, my level of thinking and read, that you've done so much study, you've done so much inner work, there's still lots of room, so there's no perfection here at all. You can't even make excuses. That's the thing. You get to me and you can't make excuses. Okay, flooded yard, but didn't flood inside the house or car. I waterproofed everything and God was with me. Cool. No trees fell on house and roof stayed on. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay, then. I'm very pleased that you're okay, Shay. Oh, wow. Very pleased that you're okay. No, that's absolutely fine, honey. I'm very pleased that you're okay. So good to hear from you, honey, and that you're still able even to get onto online. So that's pretty dang amazing. So has it kind of passed you by now? Has it passed you by? I hope so. I'm not tracking this stuff, but for people that have spoken about it, I want to make sure that they're safe, basically. But anyway, yes, so what was I saying? Where was I going? But yes, it's all to do with, what was I saying? My mind has gone off to floods, flooded yards and things. But it's like, yes, when we face, because like for me, I can't make excuses anymore. I can't say, oh, you know, it's because it's because the children were demanding my attention and they needed me, and you know, I have 3 children and I'm looking after businesses and you know, I'm really busy, so I couldn't do that extra little thing over there because of that. I don't have that. I can't. Even if I have that excuse, I know it's an excuse, so I can't even lie to myself any longer. And so for me, there's no comfort in excuses or reasons why, because ultimately it came down to, I didn't do it. That's it. You haven't done it. And when I see these sides of me, that even though there are many parts of me that I have stretched, I am so proud of parts of me that I didn't even think existed. Sorry, come back to Shay here. Yes, passed by, but millions around Atlanta without electricity. Wow. Sorry to throw you off topic. No, that's absolutely fine. I'm the one that keeps coming here. I just want to make sure you're fine. Much love to you as well, Shay. But this is it. And yes, I've lost it again. I'm having one of those afternoons. Did I mention I've only had about 2 hours sleep? But did I also mention that I can never make excuses and actually believe myself? So there's no excuse that I can make that I can actually believe any longer, because I know that ultimately it comes down to, you didn't do it because you didn't want to do it. That's ultimately it. Okay, and maybe it was because I was afraid, maybe it's because I was feeling a lot of pressure and I wanted to run away from the pressure instead of lean into the pressure. Hello, Tashike. How you doing, my honey? Lovely to have you here. Or whatever my reason was. So like yesterday, I got to about midnight. My brother actually came around because my husband is not about, so he came around to kind of keep us company, which was cool. But then I got to about midnight, I just like, okay, send off this email because you need to go to sleep. Send off the email. So I sent off this email that I was quite scared about. You're laughing at me, Shay, huh? I sent off this email that I was really scared about. And then instead of going to bed, instead of going to sleep, because it's like midnight, you know, the children are around me, they're going to sleep, everything, I could have gone to sleep. But instead I said, you know what, I want to watch some TV because I wasn't thinking this consciously, but I knew that I needed, or I felt like I needed a release. You know how when you feel really tense and you just want to run away. So for me, yesterday night, it was to run away into Grimm. I have a thing for supernatural dramas. I don't know why. I really like Twilight. Well, actually, I do know. I'm into supernatural, but yes. Yeah, I still like, I just like all this stuff anyway. So I decided I was going to watch Grimm, but I knew that, come on, it's midnight. I will probably wake up about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So that means already I have about 4 hours. If I watch Grimm, that's going to eat into my sleeping time, and I need to sleep in order for me to wake up and get on with doing stuff, or else I'll be groggy all through the day, not able to do the stuff that I need to do, which will make it harder for me to, you know, show up in the way that I like to show up. And so I knew that I was sabotaging myself. And it's like, in the face of this, can I still love me? Can I still love all my weirdnesses, or am I going to beat myself up forever, knowing that the beating up of myself doesn't actually make any difference? Because in the end, I just wanted to blank my mind. I didn't want to think about anything because I was feeling all this tension. I'm feeling all this, oh Lord, it feels as if you're stretching me and pulling me from every side, and I just want to run away. I want to escape for a second here. And so yes, I was watching this TV program when I knew that really the best escape would have been to sleep, actually. But I didn't want to just sleep. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. You know how sometimes you be like a child to your own self, you become your own worst enemy. And it's like waking up this morning, because I watched 2 episodes, in fact. So in the end, I didn't actually go to sleep. Or at about 2 o'clock, I suddenly found myself thinking, Rosemary, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know that you're going to be super tired tomorrow. You're going to be feeling really horrible. It's going to make it really hard for you to do the work that you need to do tomorrow. Why are you doing this to yourself right now? And in that moment, I had to switch things off. And then I started to think, and I started to, like, oh Lord, why have I just done that to myself? I know that I was sabotaging myself. I know that I'm feeling all this tension and pressure and I'm trying to run away from it. But that's not who I choose to be. And so at that point, it was like, and you know what? I started to think, because I am me, I started to think, you know what? People need to see this side as well. So I wrote this whole post about the fact that it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I get that. But again, the thing is, I could make excuses for myself. I get that I did need to, Claudia. So yes, I agree. I did need time to process for sure. It's not complete sabotage, I get that, but it also is. I knew that for me, in that moment, it was. Because really, my best time would have been, my best way to even process it would have been to go to sleep, wake up at 4 o'clock, have a conversation with Papa about how I was feeling, and be done with it. That would have been a better use of my time. I knew that for me. I'm not saying that watching TV ever is a sabotage, no. I knew for me, however, it was. Okay, and so that's the thing. I can't even make excuses for myself. That's the thing. I would love to say absolutely the truth. I wasn't sabotaging myself, blah, blah, blah. But I know for me, it was. For that particular time. There are other times when watching TV, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Nothing. There's no issue with it. That's not the issue. I suppose it's, what is my reasoning here? Why was I doing that? I was doing it because in some ways, I didn't really want to face the next day, which is today. I wanted to try and escape from it. I knew that. I didn't want to face it though. So at 2 o'clock anyway, I suddenly realized, what are you doing, Rosemary? Just stop, okay? So then switched it off. But then of course, because I'm me, I thought I better write about this because I did write this whole long post, which I put out there. Why am I still awake? Why the heck am I still awake? And if you go on my profile, it's there. And it was just me having this conversation. This was me now processing it. This was me processing it. So I could have done that at midnight. This was me actually having a conversation with Papa. I wrote that post where I was like, well, you see me with all my weaknesses and you know this and that and the other. I just kind of wrote that out and I put it out into the world because I was lying there thinking that this side of me I don't always show because I sometimes want to appear to be as if nothing ever phases me. But there are lots of things that do faze me. I make a decision to show up anyway. So like right now, this morning when I was doing the work that I make a commitment that I'm going to do every single morning, I was dozing off and thinking, oh my gosh, this is why I shouldn't have done what I did last night. Basically. But it's like, and so I started to think about this live stream, and it was all about, in my mind, I knew it was going to have to be about self-sabotage, which for each person is different, okay? Your way of sabotaging yourself may be different. Maybe that you suddenly start eating a heck of a lot of food, which, yeah, for me, it's a lot of chocolate. I get that completely. I do that to myself often, reasoning with myself, yes. Yes, we need to process for sure. I just also knew that I should have gone straight to the processing rather than the escaping first. Basically at that time of the night. So anyway, I wrote about it. You guys should read the post actually. I thought it was I think it's a pretty revealing post because one of the things that I know I'm being stretched into is being even more transparent about the journey. Because it can sometimes seem like I come onto a live stream like this, sing a few songs, where, yes, I own all of me, I own all my weaknesses, we laugh, yay, we're affirming. But then there's the dark side. The dark side where you actually now have to live that stuff out. Where, yeah, that was my weirdness, that was the dark side of me last night, where I was feeling really tense and I wanted to run away. Okay, yes, I know that I won't ever really run away. I've done the running away thing, and yeah, it always brings me back here again, so we may as well go through rather than run and then have to start again. So you may as well stay where you are and keep walking, okay? Maybe stop for a second, but stay where you are and keep walking. So even when I wrote the post, I was like, will I run away forever? No, I won't. I have no intention of going anywhere because I've already done the running. I've done the, oh no, you know what, I'll just be a pharmacist. I don't need to live my vision, dream, anything. No, I've done that. And it was killing me inside. So I know I'm not going there completely, but I know that I can make the journey take longer if I don't stay deliberate about my time, about all of this stuff. I'm an amazing example of success. But this is exactly why I wrote the post, though, because I really wanted people to see that, you know what, I understand the dark side. I understand the darkness as well. Because I know sometimes people might look at the stuff that I do and think, oh my gosh, you're so driven. In fact, I've had clients say that to me, you're so driven, I wish I could be like you. And I'm just like, it's a deliberate decision in every minute, in every moment. What do I want? What do I want? And do I love myself enough to get it? Do I love myself enough to sometimes take myself through the fire? To keep walking through the fire, and the fire is hot at times. Basically, you carry the torch for us and let us know the journey is possible. It is absolutely possible for every single one of us. It's like, I feel it's been being taken to a different level, but still, it's tough. And I know that. I know that because sometimes, yeah. So I wrote that post yesterday night because, yeah, I came back to myself and I realized, okay, this is an opportunity. I suppose as God was even trying to say to me, use this as an opportunity to actually be transparent about where you're at times. Because I don't ever want to give off the impression that it's always hunky-dory and let's all sing a few songs and everything is fine. Basically, because then in which case, I'm sorry, I was about to say you might as well go to church and that'll be fine. Because that was me at church for a long time. I think it is a question of self-love for sure. I think if you don't love yourself enough, you won't actually think you're worthy enough of having a big and awesome, amazing life. Absolutely, I think self-love plays a part in it. I don't think it's only self-love, but I do think at the very heart of everything, do you care enough for yourself? Do you love yourself enough to believe that you are worthy of every good thing that you want? So I do think self-love plays a heck of a lot of a part. Definitely. Absolutely, definitely. Yes, despite what you feel, there's action to be taken. Whatever you feel. It's like I was saying to this person on the phone yesterday. She was like, oh, but I just don't feel like writing this something. I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? Who cares whether you feel like it or not? Do you want a book or don't you want a book? Do you want to write the book or don't you want to write the book? If you want to write the book, then it matters not what you feel like, man. You write the book, okay? And I do think that that things like self-love and the deep inner work, it needs to be done in conjunction. Hey, Ronald's Levier, lovely to have the sunshine shining on me. It needs to be done in conjunction with the practical work. We cannot sit on the sidelines saying, you know what, I'm working on my self-love, man. And I'm just working on my, those inner blocks, which, yeah, they're probably there. I get it. There are blocks and they need to be sorted. But the action still needs to be taken. Because in the end, do you want the result or don't you want the result? And so, yes, I do think the self-love side of things plays a heck of a part in it, for sure. But I do think as well that sometimes we just need to get over ourselves and just do the work. For me, I needed to get over myself and go to sleep yesterday night so that I could wake up this morning a lot more energized, a lot more full of life and energy. So it's not so hard to be creative and things like that. Okay, yes, I have made a commitment to myself that I will do the work regardless of how tired or not I feel, because I've already done I'm so tired and I deserve a break thing, basically. And I'm like, I don't want to play that game any longer because, you know what? I'm 38 now. I'm done with pretending that somehow one day this big life is going to come and hit me on the head by itself. It isn't. Self-love was the hardest thing I had to do. No one teaches us self-love, no. And society looks at it as selfishness, yeah, and weakness and arrogance, yeah, when it's the actual complete opposite. I agree completely. It is absolutely essential that we love ourselves, for sure. I do think, yes, we need to do the work as well, but I do think there needs to be the internal work should not be ignored in favor of the external work. I was the person that would ignore the internal work. I would have just, if I had heard myself having this conversation about 10 years ago, I would have been like, oh, for goodness sake. What nonsense. In fact, I used to say, when I was 25, I used to say, oh, it's a white man disease. I'm sorry for all of you people of white heritage. I I used to say, because I lived in Africa for a long time, you know, I had seen poverty, and we'd been taught you just move forward, you just move forward, you just have to do whatever, it doesn't matter what's happened to you, you just keep going. And so when I came to this country, it was very novel. Although I recognized, actually, I still remember when someone hugged me the very first time, and that, whoa, it shifted something inside of me. But it took me a while to get to the understanding that there's a lot of stuff that I had kept inside of me, because you just need to function. You need to function. You just need to function. When you're in Africa, you need to function. Okay? There's no room for being anything. But then, so I used to call everything, when people talk about self-love, or people talk about, I still remember someone saying about separation anxiety for their child. And I was just like, oh, for goodness sake, you people, if you didn't have food to eat, you'd be talking about separation anxiety. Then I had children. So the process of having children myself, the process of actually working with people, the process of working with myself, and recognizing how starved for love I had been, that journey softened me a lot. When I hit rock bottom at that point of going bankrupt and getting depressed, and so these were things that I thought I was above. These were things that I thought could never happen to me. Come on, I am capable, I am whatever, and such things don't happen to me. And then they did. And then you're working your way through it. You're trying to remember who you are. I still, you know, The Shack, that book, The Shack, my goodness, it literally really did change a heck of a lot of stuff for me. Some of you might have read it. Some of you may not even have heard of it. I think it's an amazing book, okay? Some of it is sad, but it's an amazing book. Because for me, it opened me up to the fact that I was truly, truly loved by Spirit. I was truly loved. And that for me shook everything, because I'd spent so long trying to jump through all of these hoops for everyone else, trying to be accepted. Yeah, my African side probably does help, for sure. It probably does help. But the truth of the matter is that my family wouldn't even have believed that I was capable of doing some of the stuff that I do now. So I am very proud of the fact that I did discover the powerful side inside of me. So yeah, being African definitely, I think, definitely gives me a different insight, a different way of looking at things, for sure. I know a lot of ambitious and fast-moving Africans, that is true. Wish I had that drive. You have it. You have it, Shay. Oh my gosh, you have it, honey. I've been watching you. You have it. Basically, you have it. There's no doubt in my mind that you have it. And I do think that people can find it within themselves, but particularly you, Shay, I have been watching you. I know you have it. Okay, but oh, battery is low. I might have to bring this to a close soon. But it's like, again, if you speak to my family, they would laugh. They would laugh thinking that, Rosemary, are you kidding me? Because I was the one that nobody really thought that I could do it. Yeah, passion changed everything for me. Knowing my purpose and finally realizing that it wasn't going to come and hit me on the head. If I was going to make this life mean something, really, really, I mean, everybody's life means something, but I knew that I was here for something. I knew that I was here for something more, and I've always had the vision of it. Always. But I kept thinking it would just happen. It would just somehow happen. But it wasn't, and I was getting older, and if anything, I seemed to be going downer for no reason. You know, if you're going to be going through pain, at least let it you have gone through pain for a reason. That first bankruptcy, that first bout of depression, there was no reason to it. There was just me sitting on the sidelines waiting for my life to begin, hoping that somehow, you know, okay, I'd become a pharmacist, I looked successful to everyone else, but I knew that this wasn't supposed to be my life. I kept starting and stopping and dabbling at things, thinking that, you know, one day I'll find the thing and it'll just be easy and all the doors will just open and, you know, yes, if I'm going to be in pain, let it count, man. Let it count. And yes, this entrepreneur journey, it isn't always the easiest thing to do on the planet. And there are times that your dark side, it will show up. It will show up. And it will feel like, oh my gosh. One, you feel like, haven't I got over this already? And two, can I handle this? And then you realize, actually, yes. All I need to do is keep my eyes on the goal and keep moving forward one little step at a time. I don't need to be perfect. And that's the thing. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to be perfect. I own all of my weirdness. I'm in the perfect moment for me right now. Yes, sometimes it looks like weakness. Sometimes it looks like, oh, come on, Rosemary, you could do more. But you know what? That doesn't help me. What helps is just loving where I'm at right now, but making a decision to keep moving forward anyway. Keeping, like Claudia says, that keeping that passion, keeping that purpose, keeping that vision right in front of my eyes. And thinking, you know what? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Refusing to retreat completely. Yeah, there'll be times when you just need to hide away. But loving yourself anyway and keeping moving forward anyway. Anyway. Because the dark side comes. No, you don't need to be perfect. You already are. Yes, I have to remind myself of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, I have to remind myself that actually don't hide even who I am. Because again, like writing that post at 2 o'clock for me in the morning, when really I just wanted to go to sleep and hide the fact that I felt rubbish last night. But knowing that I needed to actually just speak about it. Because again, people can look and think everything is fine all the time. But it's not all the time. Just because you feel rubbish doesn't mean, however, that is the end. Because that's another thing. Sometimes people feel that they're the only ones that feel the way they feel. Especially on this purpose-driven journey. You can start to feel as if you're the only one, especially if you're surrounded by people who don't really get why you are pushing so hard. And then you're the only one doing it, and then you're finding it difficult, and you're thinking, there must be something wrong with me. Because everybody else seems to be fine, and there's me struggling to make this work, and it's not the truth. And so I felt I needed to say what I said last night. I'm sure I look at it now and think I wasn't even that vulnerable, but for me at that time, my normal route would be to just let it go. Don't say anything. Then come back today, sing another affirmation. Yay! Let's all be excited! And then move on, and that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that, except there are two sides. There is the light, there is the dark. It's not wrong or right. It's just light and dark. And it's all part of who I am. And yeah, there I am singing yesterday about owning all of me, owning all of my weirdness. For me, this is part of my weirdness. That despite the fact that I can be very driven, I can also be very, oh my gosh, Lord, I don't know that I can take another moment. And then you realize, actually, maybe I can. Maybe I can just put one more foot in front of the other, regardless of what the circumstances are around me, regardless of how I feel. I can love me. I can choose to move forward anyway. So yeah, regardless. I choose to own all of me. Let's sing this thing again, because my phone is going to die. Any moment I was going to say, critically low, vulnerable. Thanks. Vulnerable used to be a really horrible word to me, and then Brené Brown, I suppose, came up. I haven't actually read any of her books, but suddenly vulnerable was the new strong. Or something, but I've always found it hard. Because, yeah, we all are. We all can be vulnerable. And I've always found vulnerability quite hard because of my African side, actually. Because we were trained to put a brave face on everything. So what if the armed robbers came around killing people yesterday? So what that your father had a car accident and broke his back? No, you look strong and you look as if you have it all together, man. You think of that, you keep moving forward. And yeah, there's an element of truth to that, or else, yeah, you'll just have lots of broken people not doing anything. But then the other side of it is that you still do need to look at your fears. You still do need to actually handle your internal nonsense, or else you're just pretending it's not there. But it's there. It's there. And one day your journey tends to come out, basically, because it will not be ignored forever. So vulnerability to me now looks different, but it's still a work in progress for me to be able to be vulnerable, to really just say, actually, you know what? I feel hurt right now. I feel tension right now. I feel pain right now. And yes, I still want what I want, and I'm going to keep moving forward. But right now, Lord, it's hard. Okay? But anyway, I owe all of me. I love all of me. I own all my weaknesses. Oh, witnesses. I love all of me. I always wonder when I sing it, because even yesterday I said I love all my weaknesses. And I wonder if it's a Freudian slip, really. Where, yeah, you know what? There are weak parts of me. There are weak parts of me. Can I love them? Okay, can I love them? Can I love all of me? Yeah, there might be parts of me that I want to strengthen, but can I love me as I am in this moment and decide I am worthy of the big vision. I am worthy of the big dream. I am worthy of my calling despite my weaknesses. Can I? And I say yes, I can. It's not always easy, but I can. I can make a deliberate decision in each moment to love me and to keep moving forward, to keep the vision in front of my eyes, keep telling myself that I am worthy and enough and powerful enough to create it, and keep putting one foot in front of the other, and so can you all. And that's ultimately what I'm saying here. It's not really just about me, it's also about you guys. That one, you're not alone in the darkness at times. But don't use the darkness as a reason to stop, though. That's the thing. I used to use the darkness as a reason to stop. Oh, well, if it's so hard, then God can't be in it. I must not be called to do this. I must stop and just quit. And just, wait for the more perfect time. Now is the perfect time. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but we build resilience in the hardship. We build a relentlessness, an ability to keep moving forward in the hard times. These are lessons that we can't even learn in the really happy, clappy times. We learn them when we go through the fire and we don't run, we don't retreat. Or if we do it for a second and we keep moving forward. Basically. And we love ourselves. Even if we make the mistake of going back onto the broad path, we love ourselves back onto the narrow path and keep moving forward again as quickly as possible, really. But whichever way, yeah, as Claudia says, we're perfect right now. We learn to love who we are and go after everything we want right now, in this minute, in this moment. We don't see vulnerability as weakness. We don't see the internal work as weakness. We don't use the internal work as a reason not to do the external work either. We do both. Okay? And we put ourselves in positions where we are supported and we're surrounded by people who get it. Because that's one of the things I know that I give my one-on-one clients is that, yeah, I get it. You're in the fire right now. But you know what? I've been through the fire and I stayed walking, so can you. Okay? Yes. Oh, critically low. I'm going to have to bring this to a close. But this is it, guys. In case it dies on me, because I didn't bring my wire in here. In case it dies on me, can I invite you? I need to invite you. I must invite you. I can't end this without inviting you to join me for the Abundance Mastermind. It really is going to be a place for you where you are surrounded by people who get what you're going through. But more importantly, I will support you, and you're absolutely welcome, Shay. I will support you through, hey little princess, I will support you through the dark times and the happy times, and I will help you stay on the path, as well as give you that divine guidance that you need, as well as the kick up the butt that you need to move forward, okay? So go and have a look at the page and join in, okay? Join in. I usually say if it resonates with you, the truth of the matter is if you're listening to me right now, the chances are that what I'm saying to you already resonates. You need to be a member of the Abundance Mastermind, so stop faffing and go and join. That's an English word, faffing. Stop procrastinating. Stop telling yourself that you are not supposed to do it. You are. Go join in. Okay? It's at rosemaryonlynight.com/abundance. Go and join in. And let's sing this to bring this to a close, unless the phone dies. I own all of me. I love all of me. Sending you love as well, Claudia. I own all my weaknesses. I love all of me. Amen. We love all of ourselves, the dark side, side, the light side. We love it. We love it. We love every part of ourselves. And we fully, completely choose to go forward towards the vision. We choose to stay on the narrow path, no matter how tough it gets at times. Yes, we own our fear, we own all of that stuff, and yet we look at it and we keep moving forward anyway, because we know that we're worthy of the freedom, abundant life. So therefore, we choose to do whatever it takes to create it. From a place of weakness, from a place of strength, we keep moving forward anyway. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you're born to live because you absolutely want to. Thanks for listening to my musings this morning or afternoon. Have a great rest of your day. And remember to own all of you, to love all of you, and go to rosemary99.com/abundance and join in. Let's work this stuff out together. Yeah, and go forward. It is time to stop living the wrong life for you and start living the right one. Okay? Much love, my honeys. And thanks for the love from all of y'all. Share it. That would be awesome. Or tag somebody and that'd be great. Much love.